what are the responsibilities of the president of the Cameroonian community?
I see that the Cameroonians in Cyprus, be it Limassol, Nicosia, if there is need be, to see them when they have difficulties. If I'm aware, I will try to see how I can reach them by gathering everybody, like the members, especially if you are a registered member in the Cameroonian community. We do contributions.
We'll get back to this registration.
Yes. No, there is a difference between registration and free will contribution. My busy schedule with work, sometimes I'm not always available, but if anything reaches me, I try to make my possible best to see how I can get it solved.
You're not being paid as a president of the Cameroonian community. Why did you accept to become the president of the community?
I've been a servant to the community before as an association. I've always been there trying to put smile in people's faces. And let me be very categorically clear. One of the communities in Cyprus that has been acclaimed or that has been pronounced by the Cypriots, that has been identified are Cameroonians, that they are hardworking.
Africans, do you think Cameroonians are united?
Now I believe that I have been interviewed by South King TV. Big up to South King. The rise of Ambazonia stigmatized a lot of things. But there has always been this problem when people travel. Sometimes they say this is Francophone, this is Anglophone. But at the end of the day, you will see a Francophone and an Anglophone sleeping in the same bed. The problem that we have in Cyprus is the fact that there are some group of people, or there are some people who are trying to divide Cameroonians, like this Francophone and Anglophone. Stop this issue. This issue of hiding job are personal things, because some people are maybe greedy, you know, and they think in every situation they want to make money. If you ask me for a job and I give you a job, I don't even care to know if you make 1 billion or what, because that's not my style. A lot of Cameroonians are staying in their houses and criticizing. You see, for that reason, people have their own opinion how the Cameroonian community has to be run. The reason why we had a small government to run right now is to come out with our bylaws and to make the community to be a little bit stronger. Then we'll call again for a general election. I'm not Paul Biya. I don't want to be the president for life.
What issue of passports? So what do you have to say about that? So talking about the registration. So because I know there is already a WhatsApp group, the Cameroonian community. So the registration, is it for another WhatsApp group?
We are calling on Cameroonians to get registered so we can solve our problems as a community.
People, I want to ask you, what would the 10 euros sell for?
No, let me explain. There is something I want to really explain here so that you guys should understand. The people, the Cameroonians who just came 2018, because I know a lot of Cameroonians came to Cyprus during 2017, 2018. And when I go by the name of Kema Moses, the history of the Cameroonian community, it's a very long history that a lot of people do not know, and I would like to explain.
So I'm at the house of the president of the Cameroonian community, and I'm so excited to be received in this beautiful space. President, thank you very much for receiving me, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, you're welcome.
I know we met in, I think it was in Lanaka.
Yeah.
I think 1 week ago for the Veto Kitty Lanaka end of year party.
Yeah.
So we didn't really talk. So I want to wish you Happy New Year. And maybe you can wish Happy New Year to the Cameroonians who will be watching.
Yeah, I want to wish a Happy New Year to each and every one, Cameroonians in Cyprus and the world at large. I want to wish you guys a blessed New Year.
I have some questions from you, Prezi, and so I have it here with me. Let's start with the introduction. I know we know you, maybe not everybody knows you. So, who is the president of the Cameroonian community? Maybe your name?
Well, I go by the name of Kema Moses Nainde. I am an indigenous of the Barombi clan. I don't know if people are versed with that. I'm from Kumba Central. You know, Kumba is made up of I think 4 principal tribes. Barombi happens to be one of the tribes in Kumba. That's where I come from, Cameroon.
Okay. So, you are the president of the Cameroonian community. Since when have you been president of the Cameroonian community, actually?
If I may recollect, we started all these, I think, in the early 2014. Yeah, 2013, 14, when we had our first election. This election was held by all the Cameroonians. By then, it was called the Cameroonian Association in Cyprus.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went for
2014, I was not yet in Cyprus.
Yes.
So I'm just learning the history
yeah
now.
the history of the Cameroonian community. It's a very long history that a lot of people do not know, and I would like to explain how it all started.
Okay.
While we came to Cyprus, I think we came to Cyprus in the early 2000 and late 2005, 2006. We had an inflow of a lot of Cameroonians and Africans in Cyprus. Then we had various tribal groups, and it was we had a great time, you know. And that's why I usually tell people that I've seen a lot of faces in Cyprus. So after the mass deportation, you know, when they started rejecting people based on their asylum cases, and
before the rejection was not this much like it tend to.
it was, but you know, let me explain. There is something I want to really explain here so that you guys should understand. The people, the Cameroonians who just came 2018, because I know a lot of Cameroonians came to Cyprus during 2017, 2018. Now, when we came to Cyprus, that was 2005, 2006. We were living in Cyprus, but there wasn't this frequent interview for asylum cases. Now, at a certain time, they started interviewing Cameroonians living in Cyprus, and they started deciding to. They were not even giving people the recognized refugee status. They were rejecting everybody because, if you may recollect, then Cameroon did not have this problem.
Okay,
you know, yeah. So there wasn't any Ambazonia problem. So Cameroon was a very stable country by then. So there was no reason, unless you have something lead. I don't know if I might say something that has to do.
It was difficult.
It was, yeah,
to get the paper.
yeah. So when they started rejecting the Cameroonians, so we became smaller. The Cameroonians in Cyprus became smaller. So we said, okay, now that we don't have these tribal groups anymore, you know, because of the repatriation and this, we should form a Cameroonian community. So we had the Cameroonian community, a Cameroonian association, and we started with, we had about like 50 members, okay? And gradually it started growing. We made an election. I was nominated for the post of the president with my brother Francis Leke, which
in 2014.
Yes, back then, okay. Which I became victorious with the election. I can't recollect the votes, so that's when
at least you were rightfully voted.
I was rightfully voted as the president.
Cameroonians, we know what we're talking about.
Yes, I was rightfully voted as the president of Cameroonian Association in Cyprus. After, I think a year after or two, we had a re-election, and with the same person. And I beat him again in the election. For the second time. So it's not, a lot of people do not understand that I was being voted.
Voted.
Yes.
To become the president.
And after 2016, when Cameroonians came to Cyprus, due to one or two reasons, I wasn't around. Yes. So when I came back and I saw that there were a lot of things that were not settled. You know, we had a lot of problems, and it was very cumbersome to manage the population of Cameroonians in Cyprus.
Because of the influx.
Yeah, influx. Yeah, it was really difficult. We cannot reach everybody.
Yeah.
So what gave me this drive to call people back together was the death of, you remember the guys who died? There were two guys who died in their house.
Oh, they smoked.
Yeah, they were. Yes. So that was the reason why I decided to call everybody, because it was neat.
Together.
Yeah, we needed to come together to start seeing how to do as Cameroonians. Now, one of the challenges we had was to get the Cameroonian Association registered. I personally took money from the community, the Cameroonian Association, I saw a lawyer, which we delegate some ESCO members. We went to the lawyer, we gave him money, but he never got our association registered. Reason being that Cyprus as a country, if you understand, has a lot of, it's an island. They have their own internal rules. So it's a little bit complicated in accepting certain things because they are afraid based on their past history, the war that they had with the Turkish. So we never got registered. Now, one of the reasons why, because it was an association. So we thought it wise to say, okay, if we want to get our community registered, we should change the name. That's why we came up with the name of the Cameroonian Community. Now, since I was the president, there wasn't any other election that was done.
Yeah, because I don't recall another election. Yes. So okay. So anyway, I'm tempted to ask you, what are the responsibilities of the president of the Cameroonian Community?
Now, I will tell you certain things like responsibility. One of the things I do as the president of Cameroonian Community, I see that the Cameroonians in Cyprus, be it Limassol, Nicosia, if there is need be, to see them when they have difficulties. If I'm aware, I will try to see how I can reach them by gathering everybody, like the members. Especially if you are a registered member in the Cameroonian community, we do contributions.
Yeah, we'll get back to this registration.
Yes. No, there is a difference between registration and free will contribution. Okay. So I like for instance, if you have a problem, we come to see how we can help you. You understand? Actually, it's a community. We live in together. We try to help each and everyone, like we say, to be our brother's keepers. So whenever a Cameroonian is somewhere and needs help, I'm there. I'll reach them if I am aware. I'm very sorry right now because of my busy schedule with work. Sometimes I'm not always available, but if anything reaches me, I try to make my possible best to see how I can get it solved or the situation.
So, we all see the president looking there. The match is going on. So, but let's focus here, please. So, I want to ask you, you are not being paid as a president of the Cameroonian community.
Yes.
Thank you for taking off the hat. You can see the handsome face. You are not being paid for being the president of the Cameroonian community. So why did you accept to become the president of the community? Did you feel like it's a calling, or it's, you came before us? Yeah. So maybe there are some things you are seeing that we are not seeing. Did you feel like because you came before us and you know a lot of things, it's your place for you to come in and because sometimes if we don't have orientation, we do how we think. So what made you to accept this thing? You're not being paid for it. No money comes from nobody.
I will I will say that the reason why I am the Cameroonian community president is because at the moment I have not seen somebody that can handle this post of responsibility. Why? Because you have to be very genuine. You have to be 100% committed. You have to understand that you are serving the people. Now, it's something that I'm very versed with because I've been a servant to the community before as an association. I've always been there trying to put smile in people's faces, one way or the other, touching Cameroonians. And that's what I'm doing till now.
So I want to ask you, according to your own observation, what is the situation of Cameroonians in Cyprus? Do you think they are, they're doing well, they are struggling, they are integrating?
Okay. Let me be very honest. Are you aware of the population of Cyprus?
Yeah, all of the Cyprus, 1.2 million, something like that.
The Cypriots.
Yeah.
So we are about 3 million inhabitants in Cyprus,
general,
right?
okay.
In general. And we have a very huge population. Our population in Cyprus is very, very, you can say that Cameroonians, there are a lot of Cameroonians in Cyprus. I understand that everybody cannot be okay. We have to understand this. Even in Cameroon, back home, not everybody is okay.
I'm asking this question because when I came to Cyprus, I noticed Cameroonians were facing a lot of difficulties. So I've been here for like 4 years, something. So from, let's say, 4 years back to now, what do you think the situation is?
I will tell you, let me be very categorically clear. One of the communities in Cyprus that has been acclaimed or that has been pronounced by the Cypriots, that has been identified are Cameroonians, that they are hardworking. You understand? If you go to factories like companies like Allianz and there are a lot of companies, there are Cameroonians are giving the input. You understand? And if you are a Cameroonian, you go to look for a job. Once you say you are a Cameroonian, they take you for that job. Now, I will tell you something. You know, people come to Europe with different agendas. Some people came to Europe because they learned about Europe. Some people came to Cyprus. Let me say Cyprus because it's a little bit complicated when you say Europe. Some people come to Cyprus because they want a better life. Everybody has their reason why they are here. Some people came for health reason. Security purpose, why they left Cameroon. Now, if you want to compare, because you cannot talk about something without comparing. If you want to compare Cameroonians in Cyprus and the other African communities, I think Cameroonian is the best community in Cyprus.
True. I think so too.
Okay, so which means that Cameroonians are doing well. But like I said, there will always be a but because not every Cameroonian is okay. This is life. We are living in a country where there is a lot going on. It's not easy. I am aware of that. So I can't take my own situation to judge everybody. But what I will say is that the Cameroonians are aware and Cameroonians are fighters. You know, wherever they go, be it Dubai or everywhere, they try to make it, you know, especially from where I come from in Cameroon, Kumba, you understand? We believe in traveling abroad. People say that traveling abroad started from Kumba, you know, because we know that going abroad is to better your life. So you can do whatever you want to do in order for you to succeed. Now, if there are Cameroonians in Cyprus who are not doing well, it might be one reason or the other. But like we say, time is the master of all situations because, you know, with time, things changes. Yeah, things get better.
I want to ask you, you said Cameroonians are doing well in Cyprus, something that I concord with because, I mean, I myself, I'm a Cameroonian and being South King, traveling around Cyprus too many times, I already have seen a lot of Cameroonians doing a lot of things. Now, I want to ask you, do you think, even though Cameroonians are doing well as compared to other Africans, do you think Cameroonians are united more than other?
I love the question you just asked. Now I believe that I have been interviewed by South King TV. Big up to South King. This question has come to the table quite a lot of times, and I will try to elaborate on this.
Okay.
Cameroonians, as I know, I will really start back home. I was born in the 80s. Cameroonians back home, we live together. And we have always been a loving country. We love one another. We didn't have this problem of tribal and issues of that. Now, the rise of Ambazonia stigmatized a lot of things. But there has always been this problem when people travel. Sometimes they say this is Francophone, this is Anglophone. But at the end of the day, you will see a Francophone and an Anglophone sleeping in the same bed. You understand? So what is happening in Cyprus is, I think for me, is hypocrisy. You understand? Because we do not really have a problem. As Cameroonians, we have always learned to live together.
So what is this thing about, gossip in the community, this, people hiding jobs from other people even selling jobs?
Like I was saying, the problem that we have in Cyprus is the fact that there are some group of people, or there are some people who are trying to divide Cameroonians, like this Francophone and Anglophone. This is what I'm begging the Cameroon community sincerely for us to stop this issue. This Francophone, Anglophone. Cameroon is one, and Cameroon will always be one. All of us are bearing the Cameroon passport. That's our identity. So there is no Anglophone, because when a lot of people who had problems in Bamenda, in Kumba, they ran away to Yaoundé, Douala.
Yeah, of course.
So this is the problem. This is why you ask me a question, are Cameroonians united? We have some people who have been brainwashed with this idea, and that's why I can say we are not united. But at the end of the day, each and every Cameroonian in Cyprus feel the need to belong. But they should just stop this idea, this stigma in their brain, because language cannot divide the people. We are all...
So the division that we are talking about here from you, is it just French and English, or even within the English Cameroonians is still an issue? No. Because I really just want us to talk about Cameroonians in general.
Yes. For what I understand about the English, I will tell you my own opinion, because I don't know everything, okay? And I can't answer every question correctly. I beg your indulgence. When it comes to Cameroonians in Cyprus, you understand, about job, people hiding jobs and the rest, like I came from a family of 6. I have one brother and 4 sisters. We all came from the same womb or whatever, but we have different characters. This issue of hiding job are personal things, because some people are maybe greedy, and they think in every situation they want to make money. You understand?
Which is not helpful.
Which is not helpful for the community. You understand? If there is anybody in Cyprus that I've ever offered a job and I ask for money, they should own up. If you ask me for a job and I give you a job, I don't even care to know if you make 1 billion or what, because that's not my style. So, but for people who are asking money for job, I don't even want to go about the fact that some people are asking money for rent after finding a house, all these things. Yeah. But you can't control people how to behave in a society.
But for us to come out from this thing, because we still have to talk about the registration, which is also very important. So I want to know what is the way out of this little thing that is blocking us from being united?
Okay, the little things that are blocking us from being united.
What is the way out? So what do we have to do as a community? Because no community is perfect.
What we have to do as a community, let me tell you the little things that are blocking us not to be united.
Okay.
A lot of Cameroonians are staying in their houses and criticizing, whereas we have a common ground where we meet. Before, we didn't have a physical meeting. We used to talk, and everybody used to make their comments on the group. But right now, we have meeting settings. We meet at our meeting ground, and now we've started rotating. Like the last meeting that we held in 2025 was in Larnaca. Okay, so for that reason, people have their own opinion how the Cameroonian community has to be run. You know, how we should go about things, but they don't come.
They don't come forward.
They don't come forward. They don't come forward for physical meetings. And some people are against the leadership. You understand? But
what do you think is the reason for them to be against the leadership?
You know, in every country or every president or whatever it is, there are people who do not like you for one reason or the other. Okay. You know, like I said, I'm not perfect, but the reason why we had a small government to run right now is to come out with our bylaws and to make the community to be a little bit stronger. Then we'll call again for a general election. You understand? Now, if I want to pass this information, some people think that I want to be the president for life. No, that's not my idea.
You're not Paul Biya.
No, I'm not. But the issue of single mother, it's something that we have to deal with. Because
okay, so my question, I spoke of the veteran. So what is the role of the veteran?
Okay, you know, veteran, as you all know, right? While I was in Cameroon, I left Cameroon when I was young, so I knew nothing about veteran. But when I came to Cyprus, I started going to attending veteran, and I realized that it's something that brings people together.
Yeah.
It makes people happy. It gives people a lot of joy. Now, through veteran, you can reach Cameroonians because veteran is something open. Even Africans are there, Nigerians, Ghanaians.
Yeah, true.
But Cameroonians in Cyprus, when I say Cameroonians are one of the most successful Africans in Cyprus, because when you go to any veteran, it will be a veteran that is controlled by Cameroonians. Yeah. You know, it happens to be a privilege to be in a veteran that all the members are Cameroonians, but the president happened to be a Sierra Leonean. Do you know what that means? It means Cameroonians are really welcoming people. You understand? True. And if you look at what the veterans are doing, it's amazing. It's something that you can't The unity is very strong. Everybody is committed.
And that's what we need in the general.
And that's what we need in the general Cameroonian community, which is difficult. But if we keep on struggling, we'll achieve. Because whatever you want to do, if you keep persisting, they say, if you keep doing something all the time, you know, change will come. So we just need to be constant. You understand? You know, I receive calls that it's been long, we've not held our Cameroonian meeting. Why? So people, from the last meeting that we had in Larnaca, people are really missing the Cameroonian community.
And that's why, like, when we're discussing, I told you we're coming up with a 100% Cameroonian night in Limassol.
Yes.
Because as much as we are many, we are dominant, but we don't feel that Cameroonian.
Which is something that will be very, very okay, and I'm supporting 100% because, like I say, like I said, and I always talk about Cameroonians. I'm a very proud Cameroonian.
Of course, you have your JC.
Yes, that's why sometimes wherever I go, when I'm wearing this my Cameroonian outfit, I feel proud,
Yeah.
that I came from a country not only beautiful, but a country that is known everywhere as an Africa in miniature. Yeah. Now, what we need in Cyprus, it's just for us to understand that people might differ with ideas, but when we come together, we can become more stronger. Now, when we talk about veterans, if you see the spirit of veterans, the respect. I'm not Paul Biya. I don't want to be the president for life. What I want is for us to have a peaceful community, is for us to have a community that people are committed. When people are not committed, we cannot foster ahead. We can't really do things. So, it's easy to criticize.
Very easy.
But it's difficult to create time because everybody have their own programs. You understand? I just want us to find a common ground as a community, because besides the fact that the president is just a figurehead, just somebody to lead.
You cannot lead alone.
Yeah, just somebody to lead. But as a community, we need people who have very good ideas, so we can arrange a lot of things that can benefit the community and benefit also the country that we are living. You understand? Not to criticize and stay behind because you hate the president.
Criticism might be okay, but not only
criticism because you hate the president, you don't like this, you don't like that. Come,
the community should come first.
The community, individual. Come to the community and express your mind.
Okay. So the next question I have here for you, President, is the issue of passports. So what do you have to say about that?
Now, this issue of passport is very sensitive. Why I say it's very sensitive? Because we've had a very difficult period in this country, difficult times, with people really like fighting for passport, and you will hear stories here and there. If we've had this Cameroonian community registered, you understand, because the recommendation for registering the Cameroonian community, we need 25 members that have legal status to have a certificate of non-conviction or police clearance, so we can give it to the lawyer and pay the lawyer money for the lawyer to start the process. It might take a year too. This is how it is. Cyprus is a country that I've lived for 20 years, so I understand how they function, because they suspect everything. They will thoroughly investigate before they approve. Now, we are in a country that a lot of people do not even understand how we operate. Imagine when you came to Cyprus and now, what have you understand about Cyprus? I think you've learned a lot.
Of course.
You understand? This is the point. We are in a foreign land, that the citizens behave this way, the government behave this way. You understand? It's a very difficult country. I will not tell you a lie. Sometimes when I see people going back to Cameroon, I understand. But for me, I'm not such. I'm a fighter. Yeah. So I believe in fighting, because there is a reason why I'm here today. And when time being, maybe when I'm old, I will retire back to my motherland. But right now, I'm still at the age where I have to still work. I'm not up to 65.
So the passport thing, I've not really heard what you said about it.
About the passport, to be candid with you, how can you have access to Cameroonian passport for Cameroonians in Cyprus? There are many ways, but the right thing to do is for us to have a consul. You understand? When we have a consul, the government back home can give the consular the right to issue passport. Now, if the consular cannot issue passport, the consular can collect the documents of people who are in need of passport, and he or she will send it to he or she will send it to the country that has the nearest Cameroon embassy.
Okay.
Now, the reason why we are having this problem because the consul was handling this thing before, but there are some bunch of Cameroonians that are fighting the consul, and the consul was stripped of his right, of his ability, his power.
So generally, we are the cause. Some of us here are the cause of the reason why we are facing.
The reason why the consul of Cameroon is not recognized is because Cameroonians, some Cameroonians, I will be very clear, some Cameroonians that came before me, some older Cameroonians, you know, they wrote a lot of things about the consul, and the consul was stripped of his ability, his right. Now, because first of all, the consul in Cyprus is an honorary consul. So, you know, there is a lot going. Now, the Cameroonian community can only help to register the community, have a certain amount of Cameroonians who are legally registered, and with this we can comply and ask now for the Cameroonian authorities who are responsible that we are number and we need a representative, you know, to help us with the passport issue. So we can only have a solution about this issue of passport if we come as one, as a Cameroonian community.
Okay. So talking about the registration. So because I know there is already a WhatsApp group, the Cameroonian Community. So the registration, is it for another WhatsApp group? What is the registration for?
Okay. Now, in order for a people to be committed, they have to have something that binds them. Okay. The reason why we came up with the registration of 10 euros is for them to belong, because when you register somewhere, you know that you have something somewhere. It makes you to have the awareness. But if you just sit and feel,
it's cheap, it's
like
no value.
Yes, you will just say, okay, I'm a Cameroonian. Yeah, you understand. So we came up with the 10 euros registration. You understand? So when you get registered,
it's just 10 euros.
It's just 10 euros. It's just, but it's difficult for some people to register because not everybody likes to commit. Now, when you register 10 euros, we'll get you your name to the group, the new Cameroonian Community Group. You understand? The old one, I was supposed to stop it, to close the group, but I just leave it for just because I think it will be another room to sensitize people that have not yet registered. Now, you get to the new Cameroonian group, and what you do, you will be receiving every update, what is happening. You understand? Now, we are calling on Cameroonians to get registered so we can solve our problems as a community.
But I want to ask you, what would the 10 euros serve for? Because say everybody gives 10, because that might be something that people are thinking like...
No, the 10 euros will serve for the money that will pay for the lawyer and other administrative expenses. That's the reason why we said everybody should pay 10 euros. Now, listen, even if we have a solution today, we have people, we have Cameroonians in the community that are capable of supporting the community to result, to achieve its result. But the point is, we need to do it in a correct manner. We need to do it in an orderly manner. We just don't need to do things because we are Cameroonians or we are struggling with power. We want to do things chronologically so everybody can benefit.
So guys, you heard it's very important to register. So try and register. So another thing I want to ask you is the role of the veteran clubs, the other traditional or tribal meetings, the role of women in the community. So let's start because I've mentioned a lot of veteran tournaments,
Yeah.
and I don't know much about tribal meetings, but I know that in Cyprus they are not only men. So what are the role of the women as well?
Okay. When you talk about tribal meetings, or when we decided to change the face of the Cameroonian community, I sent letters to all the various tribal chiefs or head of tribal groups for them to come so that we can look for a lasting solution for our community. Now, Cameroonian communities is like the umbrella to every Cameroonian. It doesn't stop you not to belong to your tribal group. You know, we are talking about a community here. It's not a political party or it's not an association. It's a group of people who identify themselves that they came from the same country. Yeah. So when you talk about the role of women, right? Women have important roles to play when it comes to the Cameroonian community. I will let you know exactly our thoughts as Cameroonians. We've talked about there are a lot of women, single mothers in Cyprus,
Exactly, yeah.
right? And these single mothers happen to be single mothers not because of choice, but because of migration and all whatnot. Like there are some girls that had their boyfriends or their husband, and one of them were repatriated, or one of them left because of reason that I can't explain. Now, if we have had this community for a long time and things were running as we wish, we'll find a common, we'll find a solution for single mother, how to touch them, how to help them. Because these are one of our biggest challenges, single mothers, because there are some single mothers that they don't even know. Help is not only financially, maybe to direct them, to educate them, how they can go about their lives and livelihood, because Cyprus is very challenging. For a man, as a man, how much for a single mother with a child, or maybe some of them have two, So we are trying to raise awareness, especially in the community. There will be something allocated, a fund allocated for single mothers.
True, that would be very helpful.
That's one of the things we are trying to do. Sometimes I happen to belong to one veteran, and I have a president in the veteran which I listen to. You understand? Like we say, respect is reciprocal. When you put laws how to govern something, and when people respect that laws, everything will be okay. There is no need for somebody to hail at you or to, because actually what we need right now is for us to come together as one, because a lot of people are losing it in Cyprus.
I mean, even the Bible says it, if you are not united, you cannot really be strong.
Yeah.
So, without taking much of your time, we are coming to the end of this exclusive interview that I'm happy. I mean, you welcome me in your home.
Yeah.
So, the last message to Cameroonian, please look at the camera. What will you tell them?
Well, I want to say to all Cameroonians, I have a lot of respect for Cameroonians in Cyprus, be it northwest, southwest, littoral, north, east, west, central, whatever. Yeah, Nicosia for me is everything. 500 meters at the roundabout. We are living in a diaspora where you find it difficult to see your fellow black people. And Nicosia happens to be the capital of Cyprus. And as a metropolitan town, it's really where I feel like home. You know, each time I go to Limassol, I feel like I'm abroad. So I consider Nicosia as my second home. I actually work in Limassol, but I prefer to do the driving, the 1 hour driving, 1 hour away and fro, just because I believe Nicosia is everything for me. So that's one of the reasons why I live in Nicosia, and it happens to be where I have my kids. All my kids are in Nicosia, so I feel comfortable, like very, very comfortable in Nicosia. Nicosia, as you know, Nicosia is the capital of Cyprus. It's very, the topography, level, planning, it feels like a city, you know. It's not like a touristic site. So when I'm in Larnaca, I feel like I'm a tourist because it's always full, packed with tourists. Ayanapa or Limassol. Limassol is something different now. It's becoming like mini Dubai. So prices, when it comes to expenses, Limassol is very expensive. I work in Limassol, but it's not easy to manage Limassol when it comes to even supermarkets. The prices are not the same. But Nicosia, I know already where areas where I can go and I buy things, and I feel, actually I feel comfortable in Nicosia. You know, it's not only about the money factor, but I know Nicosia. Like Nicosia, it's in my fingernail. Like I've I've lived 20 years. Since I came to Cyprus, I've never lived in another city except Nicosia. So for me, Nicosia is my home. I have tried. Even my boss asked me, but there is a house for you, like a free house. But I said no, because right now I'm driving to pick my daughter from basketball. My son plays football. So during the weekend, like when I finish from work, weekends, I spend weekends with my kids, take them to basket, football, or whatever. So me living in another town is gonna change all the dynamics. I have to move them to maybe Limassol or what. So I prefer to stay in Nicosia. And my car is taking mileage, but I don't care because this is where I love to stay.